Herzlich willkommen zum ersten Summit des Thanks Day, des World Day for Single Parent Families and Friends. Mein Name ist Maria Stern, ich bin Founderin des Thanks Day und heute haben wir einen wirklich sehr speziellen Gast, und zwar Marie Lwanga aus Uganda. Wir reden heute mit ihr und es ist nicht wirklich leicht, die Verbindung zu halten. Deswegen werde ich mich bald zurückziehen, meine Kamera ausschalten und den Ton ausschalten. Und Petra Popovic, die das Interview führt, wird auch, nachdem sie die Fragen gestellt hat, ihren Ton und ihr Bild wegdrehen, damit die Verbindung zu Marie Lwanga hoffentlich gehalten werden kann. Marie Lwangas eigentliches Schwerpunktgebiet ist häusliche Gewalt, die Unterstützung von Frauen, die von Gewalt betroffen sind. In diesem Gebiet hat sie sehr lange Zeit gearbeitet und sie arbeitet jetzt seit 2017 als Freiwillige für SPAO. SPAO ist die Single Parent Association of Uganda. Das ist die größte Organisation für Alleinerziehende und ihre Kinder in Uganda. Und ich denke, sie kann uns sehr viel über ihre Arbeit erzählen und über die Situation von Alleinerziehenden in Uganda beziehungsweise auch in ganz Afrika. Das Interview wird Petra Popovic führen. Petra Popovic hat Romanistik studiert, Film- und Theaterwissenschaften in Italien, Frankreich und Österreich. Sie hat das Menschenrechtsfilmfestival des Human World mitinitiiert und lebt jetzt als freie Autorin, Speakerin und alleinerziehende Mutter in Wien. Oh, hello Marie, who's coming there? Hey, Paul!
Just joined us.
Great!
Just arrived from work.
Perfect moment. Okay, es ist jetzt noch Paul Lwanga da. Paul Lwanga ist der Executive Director von SPAO. Er hat lange als Manager gearbeitet in den Bereichen Landwirtschaft und Export, war viele, viele Jahre lang in Projekten mit HIV-Positiven beschäftigt und hat sich auch immer für die Menschenrechtssituation in Uganda eingesetzt. Und er hat gesagt, er schafft es nicht. Deswegen freue ich mich sehr, dass er doch jetzt schon da ist. Und jetzt übergebe ich tatsächlich das Wort an Petra Popovic und ziehe mich zurück. Gutes Gelingen.
Danke. Hello, Paul. Hello, Marie. Very welcome to our summit. Hello.
Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you?
Fine. Thank you very much.
Lwanga.
Could you give us facts and figures on the situation of single parents and stay children in Uganda and in Africa before and after Corona? I'm going to turn off my picture and I'm going to turn off my voice so the connection is better.
Before Corona, we had a big number of single parents, approximately 30% of the population, and this increased after Corona due to limited resources. Many families broke up, which forced children to suffer more.
Do you have any personal experiences with single parents or their children since the outbreak of the pandemic that you want to share here with us?
Yes, Petra, I'll be taking this. There are quite a number of experiences with single parents that we have had over this time, especially of the virus. And most times these have been people who have been really, really needy. During the breakout of the corona epidemic, quite a number of families in Uganda were really vulnerable. People were living on 1 meal a day. Others couldn't even afford a meal. They were surviving on porridge. And these are single parent-headed families with children. So the situation was really difficult. So one of the things that we did as Single Parents Association was that food aid was provided to families, things like soap, sugar, paraffin. I say paraffin because not everyone in Uganda has access to electricity. So many of those vulnerable people use paraffin and they put it in their kerosene lamps. So we're able to distribute paraffin as well to about 200 single parent-headed families. And of course, this was made possible with the financial support from one of the partners of SPAO, called Advantage Africa. And yes, to us, the corona outbreak was really real. It devastated single parent-headed families, but we were in position to support about 200 of these. And among the many single parent families, one of the practical experiences that really touched us as single parents as we went out to support these families was of a lady. She's called Subi. This lady is disabled, and she was renting a house, but because of the outbreak, she lost her source of income. So she didn't have money to pay rent, and the landlord wanted money. So she was thrown out of the house, and she had a little grandchild who had nowhere to go. So we found these people in a state of despair. They were living in a makeshift church that had become their home, and they had no food. They were surviving on just handouts from people. So as Single Parents Association, we were able to give this families of Subi some food, basic items to help them cope. But also Single Parents was, through the team that they work with, they kept providing psychosocial support to families. So yeah, to respond to that question, we have had a lot of practical experience with single parent families and their children since the outbreak. Some have been tragic, some have been heartbreaking, but we have tried to contribute where we can. Thank you, over to you.
Okay, when we talk about single parents in Uganda, what is the percentage of single mothers and what is the percentage of single fathers? Is the percentage of single mothers higher than those of the one of single fathers like the rest of the world? Could you?
Yeah, that's single. The percentages are the women, are the single mothers are the most. Are the most. It's the high percentage.
Higher percentage of single mothers. Your organization, Single Parents Association of Uganda, SPAO, has been founded in 1999. This is more than 20 years of experience and know-how in the area of single family. How did it start, and what is the concrete effort of the SPAO, and how has Corona changed your work?
I started Single Parents Association of Uganda because I grew up in a single parent family. And I used to see my mother struggling for maintenance. There are many single parents in Uganda, and I thought this organization could have an impact on them. So that's how we started Single Parents.
And how did you develop? How it was going on? Can you tell us more details on your 20 years of experience of SPAO and development? How did you assure the founding and the infrastructure of the organization and so on?
Let me take it from here. The 20-year journey of Single Parents Association of Uganda, it has been a long one. It hasn't been all smooth. As the organization started at the beginning, it was a bit difficult to source for funding to support the work that it set out to do. But the founders and the members were very supportive. At that point, people would sacrifice, and they acted as volunteers at the time. They were not being given a formal salary, but the work they were doing was more voluntary work to ensure that the activities went on and the organization still was able to pull through. Now, as the years went on, SPAO was able to get some donors, and with these donors came a lot of dough for activities to be implemented. As these activities were implemented, they were able to be shared with the outer world and other donors. So the work that was done showcased and helped source in more people to come in to support the work of SPAO. As we speak now, SPAO is operating in over 12 districts within Uganda, and it has been able to contribute to the improved livelihoods of over 3,000 single parents. To Single Parents Association, this is a plus because it's not easy for organization to be there and to actually deliver the results to the people. But for SPAO, it has a story. It has real people whose lives have been changed, children who have now grown. So the beneficiaries are both direct and indirect. And yes, along the journey, we hope that the journey is still going to be a fruitful one and a prosperous one going forward. Thank you. And yeah, I believe the second ambit of the question was, how has Corona affected? May I go on?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So Corona affected the organization in such a way that outdoor activities could no longer be done. The organization conducted a number of activities like trainings to community people, and this was like massive in income generating activities. But with the outbreak of the COVID and the subsequent restrictions, then we could no longer meet large groups of people. Gatherings were restricted to few numbers. So in this way, the work that should have been done, the people whom we expected would have been reached out to, we fell short of that limit. So that was one of the ways in which it affected the people. They have not got them as we had anticipated. Then yeah, also due to the high transport costs brought about by the pandemic, some of the staff have had to do more of working from home, online working, and the internet challenges are there. Sometimes the internet is on and off, sometimes there's no electricity. So work has become a bit difficult. But yes, despite all these challenges, SPAO is strong. It is that where we lost about, because they were also hard hit economically when the virus broke out. But yeah, despite all this, SPAO is still moving on, trying out in a way that it can best to reach out to single parents and try to make their lives better. Thank you for the question.
Here I am again. Is there any structural difference between native and white skin-colored single parents or mothers in Uganda? Could you tell something on that?
Yeah, just like Paul said, single parents has not really interacted with single families, single parents who are white. I think probably because SPAO tends to interact with the most vulnerable people within the communities. So the assumption, I haven't done research about this, but I believe the assumption is that probably they are there within Uganda, but they are in a position where they can cater for themselves and for their children as well. So that could probably be the reason why they haven't really come into SPAO to be part of it. Yeah, probably we'll try to dig more and get more information in regard to that. But for now, that's what I can pick on. Thank you.
Here again. Does the government, thank you very much, Marie. Does the government of Uganda sufficiently support single parents and their children? If so, how? If not, what should it do?
It's to a very limited extent that the government of Uganda probably deals with single parents. And in my opinion, it's that they don't consider them as a priority. The government has bigger priorities, and these include the health, the defense. I think to the state, this is what is given priority and not the single parents. Yes, there are a number of laws which are in place to help single parents, but most of them are on paper. They are not actually being implemented practically. So it's why we say that really the will to support them, it's not really there. So we say it's to a limited extent that the government supports the single parents. Yes, we won't deny the fact that some are supported through things like groups which are financed and helped to move on to elevate their livelihoods. But again, this is like a drop in the ocean. I mean, the government could have done much, much better. Yeah, thank you.
What can we learn from single parents, single mothers, single families? Are they setting a good example for you, and how?
There are many things to learn from single parents. One, the resilience. Most of these people go through traumatic experiences and the financial deprivation, the emotional torture, but they still have the resilience to go on with life. Many of them we have been able to see through the small trainings that SPAO has given them on chicken rearing, piggery rearing, mushroom growing. They have actually used this knowledge, they have adopted these skills, they have been able to work really, really hard to elevate their livelihoods, to build houses for themselves and their children, to actually pay school fees for these children. So the children are going to school, the children are under a decent roof. So the resilience for us, it's something that is really out there for everyone to pick from them and to learn. Yeah, the resilience that they depict, I think it's really, really exemplary.
Thank you. What needs to happen in order? What needs to happen in order that single parents are thankful to us as a society?
Well, I think we still need to do more of teaching them how to fish, as opposed to giving them fish. And by this, what I mean is that we need to enhance their capacity in doing certain practical things that they can do best. So I believe if we are to intensify trainings on practical skills and give them seed capital, things that they can use to start out on life, I think we'll have done something good and will help to set the ball rolling and help them to be able to actually have an elevated livelihood. Then many times many times among the single parents, I think the people with special needs are probably not really considered very much. So I think we also need to be deliberate to those with special needs to see how to come out and actually also give them a helping hand through the capacity building, get for them special trainers, because this is a population of single parents that many times we kind of, I think at some point tend to forget about. And yes, advocacy for the government to do more, because an organization can only do much, but the government is big, it can do much more for its people. It can do much more for single parents. So if they make if it would be made to have single parents included within policies that benefit them, I think this will make a difference in their lives. I think this will contribute to the change in the world. And I believe we can all be ambassadors. Also do something extra special, then they'll be grateful to society. Thank you.
Thank you. Just for the end, the last question, is there anything you are thankful to a special single parent? Paul, Marie?
Yes, yeah. This is very true. Some have worked so hard and been able to educate, sustain, and build houses for their families. So we feel that's very good for us.
Yes, there are particular single parents who have managed to be beacons of hope to other single parents. To us, these ones have stood out as role models, and we are grateful to them. If we were to document their story, I think it would inspire not only those in their community, but even people in the outside world. So yeah, we are grateful for those who have stood out as role models and shown that being a single parent doesn't mean that you're less of a human being or you have failed in life, but that you can actually make it. So for us, yeah, those people who have been role models to other single parents, they are a plus for us.
Thank you very much for your answers, for the great chat, even difficult because of the internet connection, and for your disposition and for your time. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you too. Thank you too. Thank you very much. You really done something good. And I think it's good that you know us now.
Yeah.
And we will know more about you when we continue getting in touch.
Yes, yes. Well, there's
Yeah,
one
good.
to the last
Thank
question,
you.
which Petra asked you. I am thankful to your mom, Paul. She must have been a very special person that her son built up this organization. So I'm thankful for her building that up. Yeah.
She's very appreciative for that. And she's still living.
Then please say her the best greetings from us. Maybe she can also watch all the other organizations, because what you did in Uganda, a lot of people did in their countries. And this is now the possibility in the summit that we all meet, not really at the table, but well, on an electronic table, digital table. And I hope in September, we want to do the next summit. And maybe in September, also you or someone else can tell something about the psychological situation in Uganda because of Corona in single parent families.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward for this. Okay, then I say goodbye to you.
Yeah.
Und ich verabschiede mich.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Ich freue mich sehr, dass du auch bei diesem Interview dabei warst. Die Tonqualität und die Bildqualität war ebenso, wie sie ist, aber wir haben die Situation bestmöglich genutzt und wir freuen uns schon auf das nächste Interview mit dir.